All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. Coming to you live this Tuesday morning, New York time, where the markets are already opened. It's around 11 a.m. New York time. So let's go to the charts as I wake up each and every morning, no matter where I am in the world, more and more frustrated. Uh, was about to sneeze. All right. As I wake up every morning, more and more frustrated with the direction the world is moving into with lockdowns and quarantines. It's really, really bad. All right, let's go to the charts. At least we have Bitcoin. It's the only bright side in this world right now. Man, if it wasn't for Bitcoin, I have no idea what uh, like what hope would be. It's literally the only hope left in this world is Bitcoin, because everything else is just getting out of control. Okay, so the weekly chart is looking really bad, really, really bad. Well, like I'm almost like laughing here because not even Bitcoin is uh, turning the world around from the depressed state that the world is in. So I don't have any good news for you guys. Uh, so weekly chart, clearly this is a new weekly closing low that we're working on. We don't have to close at this level, but the assumption is this will be the lowest weekly closing low. Do I believe we're going to break the swing low this week? Probably not. It's possible we could go lower than 2,900 this week, but we don't know. We have no idea. But right now, you are holding on by a thread to the 50 period moving average. And if we lose the 50 period moving average, bad things tend to happen. Now, you can see in 2019 where we lost the 50 period moving average. Oh, I should remove that. That's from our private Q&A yesterday. By the way, the private Q&A yesterday was very interesting. I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I talked there, that I mentioned there, but you will have to wait till the weekend to see the private Q&A stream. The private Q&A is available for signups, by the way. It's right here under products and services, private Q&A. Still room for more people. Once there starts to be too many questions, then I'm going to cut off signups. Let's go back to the chart. So the last time we lost that moving average, we kind of still kept rising and held the moving average. We then went up over it, but eventually crashed below it, though COVID had a lot to do with that. This time it's a little bit different, though COVID still has a lot to do with it, because COVID is still with us. I kind of want to see a weekly MRI buy, but this time I want to see a weekly MRI buy at the low. So the candle that causes the MRI buy wouldn't look like this candle necessarily. It would look closer to, I don't want to pick this candle because that's a little bad, closer to this situation here. Like this is not the most ideal MRI buy, but had it been this candle, it would have been significantly better as an MRI buy candle. Another example, a candle like this one, or this one, or this one. One of these three candles being an MRI buy would also go a long way in helping us identify the bottom on a weekly scale. As of now, you are consolidating into the depth cross between the 7 period and the 50 period. And I don't like the look of this chart. You had a red star as well, telling you that the weekly long-term view is fairly bearish. Someone is asking me about the USD getting stronger. Shouldn't it lose value because of the crazy printing? The problem is that other countries are printing more money. So Canada and other countries are printing more money than the US dollar, so the US dollar is still rising. Still demand for US dollar globally over other shit fiat. Shit fiat should be a term. We have shit coins. We should have US dollar and shit fiat. And right now, the shit fiat is being printed faster than the US dollar, which could also be considered shit fiat, but not really. The daily chart is on pace for one of these things, but again, we keep resetting the MRI count. I would love to have like a consistent downtrend to give me an MRI buy on a daily alongside the MRI buy on a weekly. Is it possible that we crash this week? Yes. Is it likely? Probably not, but we'll see. Not much to say on a daily chart. We'll continue to consolidate. We're making a new multi-week low. This was June 26th. We're already July 13th. So it's been a couple of weeks. And this is a new 2-week low. So that means that if I put the Arun on this, the Arun could be looking interesting right now. Let's see. I should have my Arun because it should have the full parade. Do I have my own Arun? No, not invite only, built in. No, not built in. Sorry, my scripts. No, I don't have my own Arun, so I have to change the. Yeah, I really hate the default Arun. Green, red, 25. Yeah, so this is interesting. See, as I expected, the Arun is completely. Hope I didn't get these backwards. No, Arun up, Arun down. So the red spiked above the green on June 21st. That's correct. That was the big crash on June 21st right here. Right here. However, you can see the crossover took place at the top of the range. So that's a bad trade. The next crossover will take place at the bottom of the range. But right now, the red is still above the green. So it's leaning bearish. But the next spike would be interesting. And the next spike would come the moment we cross below this line here. You can read more about this in Learn Trading. It's one of the indicators here. I don't know if it's in alphabetical order or what order I put it in. No, not alphabetical. It's right there. It's such a simple indicator, and it was only created in the 1990s. So it's like one of the newest indicators ever created, and it's really simple. And I kind of like it. I like simplicity in my trading. I hate complicated stuff. Some people think the MRI is complicated. It's really not that complicated. You just have to understand it, but it's not complicated. So the daily is getting ready to break down. There's nothing else I can say. The funding rate, if you zoom out, has been favoring the bulls for a while now, but I want to see one more capitulation spike. One more capitulation spike. Short-term charts, not really interesting. I think we had a question. Hey, Tone, in 2014 and 2018, Bitcoin bounced from the weekly 50 moving average, and then we had a bear market. Do you expect the same this time? I actually don't expect the same this time. So in 2014, let's go to 2014. Can't believe that was 7 years ago. My God. So in 2014, this is the 50, the orange is the 50-day. So in 2014, we bounced off the 50 and then went up and then eventually broke below it and continued the bear market. True. Here we did it again. Is it possible we do it again here? Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. But we have to evaluate that. I still expect us to bounce around here. And the question is, can we break the 20 MA? I don't believe we broke the 20 MA in those times. So here we got rejected by the 20 MA. And here we went over the 20 MA, but eventually it all came crashing down. A lot of people thought that this was the bottom. And I was very, very bullish. I was very bullish. There was a huge trend line that broke. Maybe not on this view, but on different exchanges, there was a very clean trend line that got annihilated right here. And the daily chart made it look really good. And this looked very promising, but it all kind of came apart when this occurred. When this break happened, it was over. So I do think we're going to bounce, and I do think we're going to go to new all-time high, but we can always reevaluate that position. It is totally possible that we get rejected by the 20-period moving average, and then the price of Bitcoin goes to 20K. It's very, very possible. It's possible we can bounce right here, go back, and then go down to 20K into end of year. It's possible. It's possible this is a bear market. I just don't see it. And the fundamentals make me believe that we're not in the bear market. But I still think the bottom is coming in the next few weeks. Gold, I continue to be bullish on gold a little bit. Silver is looking very good in this ascending triangle, but it needs to get back to the top of that triangle. But if I'm bullish gold, I'm going to be bullish silver as well, even though I'm always more bullish gold than I am silver. This came up in yesterday's private Q&A, which is why I have the chart up. Oil, I just stay neutral on oil because of the monthly MRI top. I remain bullish on the S&P. I'm still bullish on the S&P. And I want to talk about Tilray. Oh, shit. Tilray just dropped. Whoa. Tilray is having a very interesting day. I don't know if my friends got out of the trade or not. But yesterday during private Q&A, I saw it this morning. It was trading up here at 1740, and now it's down $1. Jeez. What a huge difference. So yesterday in private Q&A, I decided to just scroll through my list of stocks. Just scroll through them and give very quick commentary. It was like a lightning round on scrolling through stocks. And I got to Tilray, and the candle on Tilray was a straight up doji candle. This might have been even slightly red. And I'm like, holy shit, this looks amazing. This looks like this thing is bouncing off the 200-day moving average, and it's on an MRI warning buy, and we established a huge bounce off the 200-day. We're holding support. We're coming up on an MRI buy. We had a higher low, and this was early in the day too. It was yesterday right after the video. And then I'm looking back, and I'm like, hey, look at the last time Tilray came all the way down, and hit the 200-day moving average. And this time around, it's also happening with the MRI buy. So I kind of took 5 seconds and texted a couple of old college friends of mine that have been trading. One of them has been trading as long as I have. We used to trade together. And they're finally trading the MRI. And I'm like, hey, guys, why don't you keep an eye on Tilray? And then I got a message this morning. Hey, Tone, thanks. We took the Tilray trade. So that was like the first one I messaged them on. And then I messaged them a couple of others yesterday. As I was going through just the stock list, whatever was on that stock list. Let me see. I'm going to the chat because I want to take a look at the other stocks that I thought were interesting yesterday as we found them in the private Q&A. I thought that Budweiser was interesting, Canon, and Norwegian. All for different reasons, and Groupon. Okay, so those were stocks I thought were interesting. Doesn't mean they were tradable, just means they were interesting. Budweiser. Right, so I thought Budweiser was interesting with its big fall. I don't think people are going to stop drinking with more lockdowns. People are going to do more drinking. And I know we're still in an MRI red sequence and there's a red star, but something about this bottoming process, I would have liked it better if it was closer to the support line and the moving average. But something about this candle and it being an MRI buy makes it interesting to me. Though I would not rush into this yet. Clearly, it could just be a dead cat bounce. But the reason why I like this is because I can very clearly know, and I did this yesterday, right? I clearly know where my stop loss is. My stop loss is basically below the swing low. So it gives me very, very low risk. And the upside on this could be substantial compared to the risk because look how far away it is from the moving averages. Now, granted, I prefer to buy strength, not try to time a drop, but there's room for both of those strategies in a portfolio. So another one I thought was interesting was Canaan. Now, I know there is an influx of miners going onto the market. So being a mining manufacturer may not be the best thing right now. But keep in mind that I'm still hearing rumors that it costs $6,000 to mine a Bitcoin. And one Bitcoin right now is over $30,000. So there's still going to be demand for miners. And I don't like this chart, but it's interesting to me because the MRI low could be coming. So if Bitcoin crashes in the next couple of days and Canaan drops to like $5, that becomes very interesting because look at the last time Canaan had an MRI buy on May 24th, and the stock went up 50% in literally a week. So I would be watching this if I were Peoples. I'm going to forget about this tomorrow, maybe. But 2 days away, you have an MRI buy coming. So it's definitely something I would pay attention to. And the more it crashes in the next 2 days, if it does, the more I would pay attention. And there's two more I thought were interesting yesterday. One is Norwegian. Now, very similar to Budweiser, I like this. I don't like the current candle, but once again, I have a very clear risk assessment. The risk assessment is if the price drops below the 200-day moving average, also below the prior swing low, my trade has failed. Now, this risk may be a little too much. That's 3%. On the other end of the spectrum, the stock has fallen 25% since June, mostly because the world is going back into lockdown and no one wants to go on a cruise. So this is certainly very, very dangerous. But, you know, they're going to let all the vaccinated people go on a cruise. So there's enough, people out there that got vaccinated to bring back that industry. I mean, it will be illegal to go and shop for your groceries if you're unvaccinated. So all you can do is sit at home and order groceries from Amazon, and you're not allowed to leave your house. I mean, that's the future we're going into. In half the world, maybe in 80% of the world, you will not be allowed to leave your house. You will be arrested. They'll know who you are. They can track you. So you can be arrested for leaving your house if you're unvaccinated. So welcome to your future. So I wouldn't take this trade on, but I thought it was interesting enough for me to comment on. And finally, a Groupon. Right, so I drew it's very similar to the others. Groupon is down pretty damn big since March of this year. That's a 40% drop. And it would have been nice to catch this thing a few days ago, right off the reversal candle, extension B, and an MRI buy. So you're definitely late to the trade. But once again, because of very, very clear risk metrics of where the stop loss is, it gives you a tradable opportunity. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so I thought these things were interesting. But it's good that my friends took the Tilray trade. I don't know if they exited already or not. But that was the one I got a message about this morning. Sucks that it already dropped in the afternoon. Or going into the afternoon. But my initial green zone was already hit. So it's a 7% gain in a day. And I didn't cherry pick that line. I put that line exactly where the price was at the time I put the line in. Because this thing was just fluctuating all day yesterday. Anyway, I think I had one more question and then we're going to call it a day. If you ignore the June 12 to 15 pump into the cross, can you make a descending triangle? Yes. Yeah, but it's a very slow moving one. It's you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, so I like this. What's the target? I don't like it, but I like it. 34%. Oh boy. Where does that take us? 20K? 20K. Yeah. Yeah, you certainly can do it. You certainly can draw it. I really wanted this MRI sell to be in my short zone. That would have been just textbook perfect. I would have used it in future workshops. Had this thing had 2 more days of upside and then topped, would have been textbook perfect. Textbook perfect. Do you think has been keeping Bitcoin from breaking 32,000 so far? Corporate buying. I don't want to. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't really care. What's keeping it there? I don't know. I don't really think about that stuff. That's Willy Woo's problem as to why it's holding 32. I'm a TA guy. My job is to identify chart patterns to take probabilistic trades off those patterns. Well, or teach probabilistic trades off those patterns. I'm not short-term trading these days. So I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm watching the pattern. The pattern doesn't look good. When the pattern looks good, I'll be bullish. As long as the pattern looks bad, I'm bearish. I'm waiting for that capitulation. Waiting for that capitulation. I think I'm going to leave the triangle. I'm going to drop the line, leave the triangle. I think this is a little too like pessimistic. I'm going to make myself feel better by only dropping 20%. All right, hey guys. So yesterday I got a bunch of shit in the comments by saying I haven't fully had any commits from speakers. Now we do. So I reached out a bunch of speakers yesterday, and we have speakers. So and they're good. So we're updating the website. So by end of week, there will be a section called speakers for 2021. And look, anything can still happen with COVID, but as of right now, I'll drop some names. I am expecting Adam back. I am expecting Alex Petrov. I am expecting Peter Todd. Adam is very interested. Lawrence is very interested. Francis, I am expecting. He's very interested. Send a tweet replying to John Cavallo this morning. He's interested. I mean, I can't see how anyone that spoke here last time isn't interested, and we're gonna try to shoot for some bigger names, even though these names are pretty big this time. So we'll see what we can do. Giacomo, of course, will be there. Mir will be there. I still got to reach out to Leah. It's gonna be a good event. It's gonna be a good event. We're finalizing with the venue. We're gonna announce the venue. Gonna put the tickets up on sale probably next week, and it's going to be limited. I mean, because also there's COVID limits, so it's going to be limited to about 250 people, maybe 300, something like that. I don't want my conferences ever going above 500 anyway, so they're always going to be limited. It's not going to be like Bitcoin 2021 with 8,000 people. So it's they're always limited in size. Just, I mean, it's better that way. You can watch the videos. No one's forcing you to go there. But check it out. It's going to be really good. Other than that, the financial summit in Dubai right after that. So we're doing this, and then there is a 10-day break, and then there's this. So if you plan to be in Dubai for a while, you may be able to do both. Check that out. And unconfiscatable will be next year. We're going to skip a year. Okay. All right. Products and services. Check out the on-demand videos. You can also check out the MRI indicator that one day I'm just going to, start a fund only trading with the MRI. It's one of the few indicators you can use almost standalone. MRI, some moving averages, few triangles. That's pretty much my trading strategy. It's worked out well for me in the past. Not much has changed. All right, guys. Mempool is empty. Oh, Simon from Mempool. He's definitely going to be there at Understanding Bitcoin. I got to text Jack Ballers. Maybe he'll give me. He's too big. He's too important now. I'm like afraid to text Jack Ballers now. I don't expect a reply. He's too important. He's like trying to get governments to adopt Bitcoin. Some of us are just plebs. I'll try though. I'll try. I'll try to get him there. Do my best. He spoke at Unconfiscatable. Jack was Jack's on here somewhere. That was the last unconfiscatable we had Jack. There he is. All right, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. A little longer video than usual. And I will see you all on the next one. Stay patient, stay sane. Bitcoin will recover. Keep hodling, keep dollar cost averaging. Trading is not for everyone. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching and see you all on the next one.